This is day 4 of my No Nut November challenge. It has been really kind of difficult, and I've been doing it way different than what's actually supposed to supposed to be played. So I have to go ahead and get some backstory. Why am I even participating in this in the first place? Well, I first have to state off, I'm someone who really likes challenges. That's why I kind of got into edging into JOYs, if that sounds crazy, because I like a challenge. I want to go ahead and push myself to limits. And when I feel a sense of challenge, that just takes me to a whole different level. I remember when I was trying out for my junior college basketball team, I was locked in. I was not willing to go ahead and watch the hub. I was not willing to go ahead and yank off. It felt like I had a huge sense of purpose there, a huge sense of duty. Like it's go time. Like I have a challenge that I have to go ahead and face. For some reason, with purpose, with goals, I don't have that same sense of urgency, that same sense of like this is a go time, because so many things happen upon a day. So many things just happen, and you just forget about your purpose and your goals. And when your goals and your purpose aren't really, you really aren't seeing the results. You really aren't seeing the fruits of it, and you're putting in work, or maybe you do want to go ahead and put in work. For myself, I try to go ahead and put as much work as I can into goals, into my purpose, but I just end up scrolling on social media, watching pointless self-improvement videos on Instagram, watching whatever it is, watching Fit X Fearless rate dudes out of 10, try to go ahead and figure out how to go ahead and cold approach, go ahead and finally get an opportunity to go ahead and talk to a woman. I waste a lot of time doing that. And I try to go ahead and search for a sense of acceptance, a sense of feeling pleasure, of feeling like, yeah, I'm doing something correct. And that's why I always go ahead and just beat off. I gotta keep the buck, and you have to be honest with it, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with it. So last week, before November came around, there was a girl that I was really thinking about go ahead and finally having a conversation with. I was right next to her. Like we're both sitting next to her. We're both sitting next to each other next to the train stop, and we both go to the same college and stuff like that. And I was sitting next to her for a good 5 minutes at the train stop. Then when we got onto the train's usually super packed because the high school was getting out, and like the high school was getting out there. I mean this train like super packed. There's like it's really hard to go ahead and get on, and we're both right next to each other, man. We're both right next to each other. I wanted to say something to her so bad. I wanted to go and say something basic to her, like, what class did you finish up today? Like, how's it going today? I wanted to go ahead and say something basic like that, because that's how you actually go ahead and just start conversations. When it comes to cold approaching, when it comes to talking to girls, it's not really that complicated. Just have a normal conversation with a girl, something relevant to your environment, and just continue the conversation. Continue the conversation. Have interest in her. Ask her questions. If she's asking you questions back, that's how you know she's into you, kind of. And you could go ahead and take it to the next step. But I did not talk to her. And I was probably next to her for a good like 10 minutes. And I was saying to myself, talk to her, talk to her, talk to her. But I didn't. And when I got off that train, man, and I walked home, that was just I was super regretful, man. Super regretful. And when I got home, I wanted to go ahead and feel a sense of that I did something, that I accomplished something. So I went ahead and started beating off. I believe I went onto the hub, which I rarely kind of do. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Well, I mean, I kind of now, but I went onto the hub, yanked off, busted. I think later I said, man, November's around the corner. I'm just gonna wait for No Nut November, so I can actually have a full challenge to go ahead and do this. So I went on Instagram again. And when I go on Instagram and look for stuff, and then I yanked off again. Bro, that regret of not talking to that girl, and that's a huge reason why I beat off, to be honest, is because of regret not talking to people, regret not talking to women. I'm also a virgin. I'm 20 years old. I have never had a kiss before. I've never hugged a girl before. I never truly had a good conversation with a girl that I actually liked. And I had many of crushes, and I never got a chance to go ahead and escalate. I never got a chance to talk. I didn't talk to none of my crushes back in high school. And it's just a way to go ahead and cope, man. For me, with my social anxiety, with my fear, like my social anxiety and my fear was so bad, man. I always say that when I used to go to basketball practices, my blood pressure was so high. When I go to school, my blood pressure was so high. I was so anxious. I was so nervous. I was so nervous in social situations. It was even bad at a point where I had to I had to go to a cardiologist because my blood pressure was high, and that's not normal for my age range, and I had to do like an AKG, scan the heart, and do all that type of stuff. But I finally came down. I finally calmed down in the doctor's office, and my blood pressure came back to a normal reading. But it's just a way for me to go ahead and cope. I have never truly been on a long streak before, even though I do make videos, even though I make videos about on NoFap and semen retention and stuff like that. I know what to do already. And something I've been implementing is meditating every single morning. No BS, no matter what it is, no matter what excuses, no matter what work ahead I gotta go ahead and do. I gotta meditate 10 minutes in the morning. That is something I've been doing consistently. And that's something I know that it's actually beneficial for me to overcome this urge. And I've been finally doing that. I finally have a sense of a challenge of locking into my goals and being outcome independent with my goals and facing my fears. The thing when it comes to this, and when we talk about first, in these last couple of days, I have been on the hub. I actually been on the site. I've been just randomly scrolling on there for a good like 45 minutes today and yesterday, and questioning, why do I do this? What's so special? What's so unique about busting? What's so unique about these girls? The thing is, for me, a lot of input when it comes to girls was off the hub. Was off the hub. I have to be completely honest with it. A lot of interactions. A lot of my like woman interaction is off the hub and from manosphere dudes telling you how women are, red pill dudes telling you how women are. My experience when it comes to actually knowing what women truly are is actually very low, and I have to be completely honest with that. But I went on the hub, man, and just randomly just typing in what came curious to my mind. And I've also been looking up on Google, like, what's the healthy amount to go ahead and bust every single day? What's the healthy amount to go ahead and release? And it's mind blowing. It's mind blowing how normal this is. It's mind blowing how many people I could go ahead and beat if I'm able to overcome this, man. I'm 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 way ahead. I'm way ahead of multiple people, man. I'm way ahead of multiple guys. This will put me into a higher echelon of people, man. And not even talking about those type of people. It means that as if I'm a master of my own mind, man. And these last 2 days, usually when I watch the hub, I go ahead and beat off, but I'm not beating off. My willpower is so high at a point, but there is, like I was gonna talk about, there's this like a pro, like a side effect, I guess. I do feel like I am more aggressive. I do get like angry a little bit more, but it's not special, man. I'm watching these dudes like going crazy with these girls. Like, that is something I'm capable of doing. Like these dudes that I'm watching, going crazy with these girls on the hub. These dudes are not that special. Like, I'm in better shape than majority of these dudes on here. I am a better person than these people on there, and you have to put yourself at that higher standard too. Like these people that you're watching on the hub are the lowest of the low people, man. They should not be doing better than you in life. They should not be accomplishing more than you in life, and you need to go ahead and understand if you're trying to go ahead and figure out people that you're better than those people off the hub, 100%ly, 100%ly. And and the most important thing is, I am being confident in myself. I'm being confident in what I know that will help me overcome this addiction. I'm being confident in it, man. because a lot of you are not confident in what you need to go ahead and do. A lot of you are not confident in your purpose. A lot of you are not confident in your goals. You're not confident in the healthy habits that you have to go ahead and do. So you default back to the things that you know that are, I guess, you're kind of confident with. I guess well, you're confident, you're okay with being off. That's the normal. If that's the normal, you're just gonna keep on doing it. But I also have to go ahead and address the other point is that it is person to person when it comes to retention. It is person to person, man. Some people they could go ahead and watch the hub every single day and still talk to girls and still have a relatively pretty good life. We gotta be honest with that. And that's how they perceive it. They don't perceive it as something that's destroying their life. And since they don't perceive it that way, it's not. But since I perceive it as something that's not good for me, it's gonna destroy my life. It's gonna make it harder. It's gonna make it challenging for me to go and talk to girls. It's gonna make it more harder for me to go ahead and have better mental health, because if I'm watching it, my mental health's gonna go down. Because that's what I believe. And since I believe that, since I put myself in that mental box of if I watch the hub, I'm not gonna be confident. I'm gonna have social anxiety. I'm gonna have a lot of anxiety. That's what's gonna end up happening. This, yeah. Everything I want to get off my mind. And this last thing I'm gonna go ahead and state is that you have to go ahead and work on other things. You need to go ahead and have other things prioritized. Like you need to go ahead and meditate. You need to go ahead and journal. You need to go ahead and have goals. You need to go ahead and find your purpose or work towards your purpose and be confident in your purpose. You need to have those other areas fixed, because those other areas are playing a role into you going ahead and watching the hub and being off. You have to go ahead and fix those other areas. When I got on these longer streaks, I never fixed the other areas of my life. I never fixed my grooming. I never took care of myself. I never truly worked towards my goals. I wasn't meditating every single day. I wasn't journaling every single day. These things you have to be confident in. You need to implement these things, because if you're not doing those things, it's going to be a complete waste of time. This is a time for you to go ahead and implement those things, be confident in those things, figure out what you need to go ahead and do. If it's your diet, if your diet's making you not feel good, okay, let's go ahead and adjust that. If you need to go ahead and meditate more, meditate more. If you need to go ahead and journal, if you have a lot of thoughts right now, journal about those thoughts. This is a time to be mindful, to figure out who you are as a person, to log in on your goals, to be confident in yourself, to be confident in your abilities, because you're not confident enough. And you need to be more confident in yourself. You need to be confident in your plan. You need to be confident in the action that you take. Because if you are, your life is going to be so much more better. And since you have confidence in yourself, you're going to want to do it. You need to have confidence in yourself. You need to have confidence in the things that you know are correct and do them and have confidence in that. This was a great video to go ahead and record. This is a great video to take some energy off my chest, because I have a lot of built up extra energy and stuff like this. And I encourage you to go ahead and record your documentary too. Record you talking about your experience as well, because that just takes the experience off. And if you're afraid to go ahead and talk in front of a camera, if you're afraid to go ahead and talk inside of your house, do that. This should be a time to overcome your fears. Again, No Nut November does not mean stop talking to girls. Semen retention does not mean stop talking to girls. If you struggle with talking to girls, you need to go ahead and talk to girls. If you struggle with social anxiety, you need to put yourself out in more social situations. No fap. Semen retention, No Nut November does not mean to go ahead and put yourself in a winter arc on monk mode and isolate yourself. No, we're not doing that no more. Right, we're not isolating yourself, especially with winter arcs, monk modes. If you're trying to go ahead and become better socially, if that is your ultimate goal, honestly, if your ultimate goal is to get better talking to girls, or go ahead and get a girl, or be better in social situations, you need to actually get out there in social situations, man. Stop coping and doing all this extra stuff, because it's not the way to go. You still need to go ahead and talk to people. You still need to go be social. You still need to go ahead and face your fears and be confident in facing your fears and be confident talking to girls, because you're actually capable of talking to girls. You're capable of having a conversation with girls. You don't need to watch all these other cold approach videos. You know what to do already, bro. You just need to be confident in it. That's great getting this off my chest. Peace.